Chapter 9, Lesson 1, Changes to Earth's Surface. The Earth is kind of like an egg. We've got all this nice gooey stuff in the middle that's molten inside here. And on the outside here, we've got this hard outer crust. And that's what we live in. It's very thin, but that's the crust that we live on. It's on this crust that we have all this rocky stuff, and this gives us our landforms. So landforms are a natural feature on Earth's surface. So if you take a look, volcanoes, mountains, rivers, canyons, peninsulas, the ocean, very flat plains, all of these are landforms on the Earth's crust. These could have been caused by various other things, such as glaciers and other types of weathering. So these are all landforms, natural features on Earth's surface. Now the important thing about landforms is that they can form slowly or they can form quickly. Slowly as in over thousands, millions of years, slowly being worn away with erosion and deposition, or quickly as in landslides, rocks falling down hills, being broken off. So landforms can change slowly or quickly. How do they change? Well, they change by weathering. Weathering is the gradual wearing away or changing of Earth's surface. Remember the story about, oh, it's wearing me down. With weathering, we've got two types. We've got two types of weathering. You can have physical weathering, or you can have chemical weathering. Two different, very different types, but they all gradually wear or wound or change Earth's surface. So with physical weathering, rocks are broken down or made small or worn away, but they are still the same. It's still the same rock. They are not changed at all. Nothing new has been created. The only thing that changes are the size or the shape of the rock. Some ways you could have physical weathering. We could have ice, where ice freezes in the cracks of rocks and splits the rock apart. You could have temperature changes that would cause the ice to freeze. You could even have plants that would grow inside rocks. Notice the plant growing out of the crack of the rock and the roots slowly split it open. You can also have water rushing past, carrying little bits of minerals slowly over long periods of time. Notice this rock, over the course of time, has been slowly weathered away at the bottom by this lake. Animals can also break down as rocks as well. These are all examples of physical weathering, and you're only changing the size or the shape. With chemical weathering, it changes. You get something new. Look at my awful drawn delicious birthday cake here. When you have a birthday cake, you create something new. There's no way you can take those individual ingredients and get them back after you've made something new. You've chemically changed it. One way we can get chemical weathering, if you take rainwater and mix that with carbon dioxide, which is that air that we actually exhale, you can actually create a weak acid. Sometimes we get acid rain, which is lots of CO2 here. But you've got rainwater and CO2 that combine to make a weak acid. This can actually break down rocks, and it turns the rocks into something new. You can never get the rocks back together. You can't put them back together and make them back to how they were. Notice in this rock, you've got the changes. You've got the little holes that have been worn away here. Notice in the statue, you've got the color changes. Color change is a huge sign of chemical weathering. Same thing in this statue. You can see it's been worn away. It's been chemically changed. This has even happened to our own Lady Liberty here. Notice there's the color. Here's what she used to look like though. This nice copper bronze color. But over time, because of the rainwater and the CO2 changing, we get something new. Chemical change. So you should be able to tell me now about the Earth's crust. You should be able to give me some examples of landforms that are features on the Earth's surface, and you should be able to tell me about two types of weathering. Those two types being physical, where only the size and the shape change, and you should be able to tell me about chemical weathering, where you get something new.